Hey kids, welcome back to the channel. So today we'll be talking about how to get over a breakup. I happen to be Kenya's leading #1 expert on breakups. And it is a sad, unfortunate part of life, but at some point in our lives, we all find ourselves going through a breakup. It's a natural part of life, and so many of us find ourselves here, and so many of us don't have the tools to cope with it. So this is what this video is about, and how to get through that very difficult time in your life.
Hi there, my name is Elle and I'm going to help you mend your broken heart. I created Mend because several years ago, I was exactly where you are now, heartbroken and trying to move on. If you allow it, this breakup you're experiencing will be profoundly life-changing. This heartbreak will teach you something about yourself and will give you clarity on what you want, and I'm here to help you get there. Every day, you'll check in and listen to a short audio training where I teach you how to feel better, faster. A new and exciting chapter of your life sits on the other side of this heartbreak. Are you ready to get there?
In my experience, I've had some of the best relationships in my life, but also relationships can get very complicated, and it's through age and experience that I've learned to be a better partner to whoever I'm with. So a few years ago, I broke up with the girl of my dreams. I know, right? It's cliche, but she was actually the girl of my dreams. And at that point of my life, that breakup literally destroyed me. Literally destroyed me. But I can also say it was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because the journey I went through after that breakup was just so revealing of who I really am. I can tell you now that all my life, I've always been running away from my emotions. I would get into relationships, get out of them, and just jump onto the next one or distract myself with people, friends, or my career. And as I grew older, I started figuring out that I wasn't really processing the emotions, and I was just picking up something, putting it down, picking up another thing, putting it down. And I went through so much of my life like this, and as I got older, as I got to my older years, I started realizing that I have a lot of emotional baggage that just sits there, and I keep dragging it on to my next relationships, and that one fails. I drag the next to the next relationship, and that one fails as well. And I had to do something about it. I had to face my feelings. When I broke up with M, it was one of my biggest pains in my life, because in that relationship I had struggled so much to do everything perfectly. I had struggled to do everything right, do the right thing, meet her friends, treat her well, take her out on dates, make her feel special, do everything right that I thought was the perfect boyfriend or partner. And when that relationship came crashing down, I was just confused. How can I finally, for once in my life, do everything perfectly, and it all just comes tumbling down and failing? And it was just one of those moments in your life that you feel, what are you doing wrong? Is the problem you? Are you the problem here? It was a very confusing time of my life, because I did not understand why is it that you can do everything perfectly and right, and that is still not enough to make a lasting and a successful relationship? Is there no formula? Is there no formula to a successful relationship? It was at this time that I started Googling for ways to get over a breakup, and I wanted to get other people's perspectives and opinions on the topic. And if you go through the internet, there are some very standard answers and responses, like keep your distance, cut communication, delete all their pictures. And as much as I think maybe these things have worked for other people, for me, they didn't do much. It was just like platitudes, just reading things off the internet, and you forget in the next hour, and they weren't really changing my life in any single way. And this is the time that I found this app called Mend. So what is the Mend app?
Right now, we're really focused on providing the best possible support for someone who's going through a breakup. So Mend is like a best friend who checks in on you every day and gives you really good advice. and connects you to a community of people around the world who are going through the same thing you're going through. Helping people through a breakup is just the tip of the iceberg. I think the really beautiful transformation that happens through heartbreak is that people are able to kind of see beyond their ex and really begin to facing themselves and learning who they are.
I love what she says in the interview. She talks about how a breakup allows you to finally discover exactly who you are, and it allows people to face themselves. And this is why I say when I broke up with the girl of my dreams, it was actually the best thing that ever happened to me, because it was like putting a mirror in front of me and seeing exactly who I was and what kind of energy I was putting out into the world and how I was treating people, and examine some of the things, some of my mistakes, and why those mistakes are like that. Why do I react to certain situations this way? And I want to take you guys through this app, man, and show you why it's a very helpful resource for someone going through this really hard time in their lives. So when you open the app, this is the screen you get, and this is the first audio message that plays. Her voice is so soothing and relaxing, and it's just like it's coaching for breakups. So you begin the app and you type in your name, you give the app a few details about yourself, how you found it, what is the reason you broke up with your partner. They even ask things like when did you break up, when is the last time you had contact with your ex, and this kind of information is important. They're trying to get you to see a life after them, see a life after the breakup. So every day they ask you, how are you feeling? And there are these 5 icons that are you happy, are you sad, are you neutral, are you feeling nothing? And it's a good way to keep track of your moods during a week.
Welcome to your first day of training. I'm so sorry to hear that you're going through a breakup because of distance. You're not alone, and we've developed a training program specifically for this type of breakup. Every day, we'll cover a new topic that will help you understand your breakup and move forward from it in a healthy way. Today, we're going to talk about exes and how to move forward after a breakup when it seems impossible. Before we begin, I just want you to take a moment to close your eyes and check in with yourself. Take a deep breath. Let go of whatever stress you're holding in your shoulders and in your neck, and just be with yourself in this moment. You're taking heartbreak into your own hands by starting this training, and I want you to recognize how powerful that is. Now, take another deep breath in, and then on the exhale out all of the pain, the stress, and the anxiety you've been dealing with today. Now, I want you to think about what your relationship is like with your ex. Do you have a strong urge to reach out to them, to ask them questions about why you broke up, to try to bump into them, to go to a party you know they'll be at? Are you finding yourself reading and rereading old text conversations or scrolling through old photos of them on social media or on your phone? Well, the good news is that this is totally normal. You are not crazy, and this feeling will pass. And there are 2 reasons why you feel this way, which we'll talk about today. First, the most important thing I want you to know today is that it's normal to crave your ex after a breakup. It doesn't mean you should get back together. It just means you're human. Going through a breakup is a lot like going through withdrawal. If you've ever tried to stop eating sugar or drinking coffee, you know what that's like. It's really hard. When you were with your partner, your bodies were giving off invisible feedback back and forth. Let's call these little invisible forces happy hormones, because that's what they are. Happy hormones like endorphins and oxytocin are what give you those gushy feelings when you're with your partner. And when you break up, you really start to miss them. In fact, you crave them. It's a lot like withdrawal. The second thing I want you to know is that you're wired to want to get back together with your ex. We've evolved in many ways, but in a lot of ways, we're still animals. And as animals, we were wired to want to procreate. So when we break up with a potential mate, our bodies can go into overdrive trying to reunite with that person, even if we don't want to be with that person anymore. And even if that person doesn't want to be with us, our bodies aren't smart enough to know that there are a lot of other fish in the sea for you. But that's where your mind power comes in. Missing your ex is one of the hardest parts of a breakup. Now that everyone is so connected online, it's really difficult to get space, which is so important after a breakup. And breakups that happen because of distance are particularly hard because sometimes they feel unfair. Oftentimes, these breakups test our willpower and our ability to manage doubt. You might be wrestling with mixed feelings, and you probably have a lot of what-ifs on your mind too. It's only natural when the reason feels out of your control. In our training together, I'll help you understand your breakups so that you can let go and move forward. I'll also teach you tools and strategies to take care of yourself after a breakup. To unlock our full training program after this first free week together, you can subscribe and become a member. You did a great job checking in and doing your training today. Next up is your journal, where I'll ask you a question. Today's question is, what are you hoping to get out of Mend? I'll see you here tomorrow.
So that is Mend. I love her voice, and I love how it's like coaching. I love like she's talking you through it, and it's like having a friend there and you're talking about your breakup. And they have this feature, this journal feature, where you get to write your feelings about what you're going through. And I find there's so much power in writing. Whenever I am going through something, or something really traumatic, or something I'm really finding hard to deal with, I write it down. Even most of my videos, most of my story times, I wrote a script for a few days, 2 or 3 days, just to pour it all out on the page, and just look at it and realize that these are my feelings about it. That playlist story time, it's helped me get through so much in my life, and it's helped me unpack so much of my own baggage, and I find it's a very powerful tool to write what you're feeling. So that is Mend. I think it can help you guys to figure out ways after you break up, and the app costs $4.99 a month, I think. You can check on the App Store. And if you also can't afford to pay these premiums for Mend, she has this podcast on the internet. It's called Love is Like a Plant. So if you just want to hear more from Elle and her takes on relationships and things like jealousy, breakups, cheating, she talks about it all, and I find it so relatable. Just hearing someone else's experience and someone talking you through what you've just gone through, and it helps. This really helped me get over my own breakup and be okay again, and being able to move on with my life. And it's a chapter in my life that I'm grateful that I went through. I hope this video helps some people, and I will leave you with a video from one of my favorite Instagram comedians called Chicklet, and it's just a funny video, and I hope that on your next relationship it actually works out. Anyway, that's all from me for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Don't try to fucking play me. I know what I saw.
Hey, I promise I
I
wasn't
know
doing that.
what
No,
I
it
saw.
was not there.
Open that damn computer.
For what is that?
For what is that? You was just on it. I just saw you. Go ahead. Open that shit.
Please.
Open that shit, bitch. You think you slick.
Oh, my password.
My password. We got amnesia now? Remember that shit, bitch.
Stop.
Remember that shit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Hurry the fuck up.
Okay.
You over here, look at you, look
Baby,
at you,
baby,
look
stop.
at you, Easter egg, dirty motherfucker.
It's not.
What is that? What kind of sick
Let me
shit?
talk, please, let me talk. I was trying to Google if bunny lay eggs.
It's bunny lay eggs, you
I was trying to,
dumb
what came up? I
motherfucker.
swear.
That's what
I
came
swear,
up.
I can drop that right now.
I look
swear.
fucking
I
stupid.
swear.
You motherfucker gonna die. You with your lotion right here and your damn tissue
I'm
and your
sick.
dirty ass website. You ain't shit. Oh look. Don't try to fucking play me.